You challenge yourself preseason with some tough weekends of multiple tough opponents.
Yeah.
And I know part of that is, postseason, but does even a weekend like this, do you feel like that'll help prepare you for a weekend like this?
I hope so. These are two really good opponents. Happy to be at home playing them. But yeah, no, it just feels like it's what we've been doing. When you don't play like one off night, it's you just don't ever get out of just playing your best. And I think that's helped. I thought it really paid off this last week. Again, it's probably the best we played at UCLA from a defensive standpoint. It was just, we're just used to doing what we do and see if they can keep up,
Seemed like last season the team kind of had a chip on their shoulder that they wanted that team to win their first Pac-12 championship. And even though you kind of fell short of that, knowing that this year preseason you guys were ranked behind Washington State, an opponent that you're going to see this weekend. I know you got to get through Washington first, but what's kind of the mood of the team heading into this weekend, knowing that you are taking on a team that was ranked above you?
Yeah, I honestly we haven't talked about any of that stuff, but I do think there's three legit contenders that I've seen with Washington State, Stanford, and us, in the conference. And so I think we all belong in that conversation, which is exciting. And hopefully we all just stay healthy and consistent and we keep challenging. But as a group, last week we really wanted to get better with our middles on offense. So we wanted to get some, better in some of those rotations, our defense, our blocking. And we actually had practice time last week, which we hadn't had the month before. And I thought it really paid off. We saw huge gains in that. And this week we'd like to get better at connecting with our pins. Mimi and Gabby haven't been scoring as well as we'd like for them to this last week or two. So just kind of resetting that and getting that connection back. And if we see the same growth there that we did last week with blocking and middles, then we're going to put ourselves in a really good position.
Are ways Carson and Kara kind of complement each other, just present kind of a different look?
Boy, we're so big, we're over the net, strong, broad shoulders. I mean, again, going back and watching how we blocked this past weekend, it was pretty impressive. Just really good moves. And I think just, one leaves, you're excited they leave. And then the next one comes and you're like, okay, well then that didn't really get that breath. So I think just the two of them are different offensively. And, that I think presents problems to the other side, is that they can't just, lock in on here's what it is, different tendencies, different styles. And Hannah, deals with that well. So I think it's just, you're just constantly getting another good option in front of your face, and that probably, can wear some teams out.
What is that turnaround like playing Friday, Sunday, knowing that you're going to have to have less time to kind of scout that Sunday opponent than maybe preparing the whole week for the Friday opponent, just the difference between those?
Yeah, we really don't talk about the Sunday opponent until after the match on Friday. I think we've tried to do it differently in the past, but we would get confused and we would have the wrong game plan for the wrong team. And so we just kind of nix that. So Saturday is a really long film session. The practice is important, even though it's short, but it's, again, hopefully impactful and we get ready. But overall, I think we've done well with it. And again, for at least this Sunday, I don't think our team will have any problem getting up for that game or getting focused for that game. So that'll be a big one. But like you said, they're all big, and Washington's a rivalry game, and we're looking forward to that one first.
You hope you put on a good enough show last week against Oregon State that maybe some of those fans show up in similar numbers?
Well, that was really fun. I just thought the crowd, it's one thing to have people there, but it's another when they're engaged. And, it felt like, I know in a much smaller scale, but it felt like the football crowd. It felt like nobody shut up the whole time. They were, again, listening back to the TV, you could hear the student section just, in the background and just saying stuff, talking and, just really engaged. So I felt like a really enjoyable environment for everybody that came. I got to think whoever came enjoyed it. And hopefully that means that they'll want to come back again. They'll remember that, and again, our team provided a quick outcome, which I think everybody likes too. So I hope everybody really wants to come back, because this is a really big home stand for us this weekend. And these are two matches that we really need to win if we have top 4 aspirations of hosting. So, we could really use everybody. These are two of the best serving teams in the country. And so a loud crowd can sometimes throw servers off. So if I could ever make a plea to our fans to show up and be loud, I would say when they're about to serve, make yourself known, and help us out a little bit.
Kara made that point last week. Why can the crowd be so impactful in that element of the game?
Well, when you watch basketball, you see free throws. What do all the fans do when they're about to shoot a free throw? They're doing everything they can to try to get the attention, because it's the one-on-one thing. It's just you and your head. So if you can take some of that headspace at that time, the rest of the game happens so fast. And I don't think you're making much of an impact. But in that one, you can really maybe get somebody's attention or get them to slip their focus and, get on them. So again, that'd be a nice home court advantage piece for us.
You're head coach in Washington this year. How does their system this year compare to the previous?
Yeah, she's been there for a long time. So, I mean, a lot of it is similar, but there are definitely some different nuances, and, pointing that out to the group of what kind of we're used to doing against Washington that maybe will be a little bit different or maybe not work or something else will. So just a few systematic things that are a little bit different. But for the most part, I would say it's pretty similar. Yeah.
We talk about, your team's got a lot of really great big hitters, but this is Hannah Pukas' second year kind of running the Oregon offense and having played on that Washington State team. Just what kind of role does she bring to the table in terms of her leadership?
Well, I mean, I think our hitters have just the utmost confidence in her. Passes everybody. Like she just commands their attention. We trust her decision making. We trust that she's always, she's a heck of a competitor. Really tough. So I think it's just someone that you look at and you just believe it's going to happen. And at least in our sport, that connection between the hitter, setter, especially with how fast we go, it's really important to have that confidence in your setter that I'm going to trust that I'm going to go, you're going to put it there, and it's all going to work out okay. And I think again she just really breeds that to them, and I think that's what a big part of what makes it so successful.
It was interesting, Coach Lanning mentioned what Jalen Hurts said about 1A and 1B, which was, I'm not sure if you heard, but 1A is getting the win and 1B being the standard. You want to make sure you not just win, but you also, play to your standard. You've had a lot of sweeps so far this season, really just clean wins. For you guys, is that a conversation with you guys, or are you just kind of doing whatever it takes to get the win and you'll kind of go back, look at the film and make those adjustments in practice? What is that like?
Yeah, I think I don't go with that one. So we really don't talk about winning at all. I talk about process. I talk about doing the things that we need to do. If we do that, wins will take care of themselves. But I definitely understand in other sports how, we just got to figure out how to get this dub and move on. But for us, again, at least in my head, it's so big picture. I try not to be very tunnel vision. It's about, where are we going to need to be at the end of the year? And so for us, even if we take a loss or we lose, our sport also, you lose or win a point every play, so it's just a different deal, different mindset, I think, because of that. But for us, we just have to continue to get better at the things globally that we need to get better at. And if we do, again, we've seen good results when that's happened for us, and just being more consistent. So.